they play. Nothing better than a vintage guitar.
Well, you know how it is. Les Pauls can be worth $400,000. They can be worth $1,000. So
that's true. And this is a very cool guitar. It's a good one. Doug's got a good weight. It's not too heavy. Some of these get a little heavy. It's got some wear on it, but now it's just character. I've seen Les Pauls go up to about $450 grand on the open market. So in order for me to figure out if this is a real 1960 Les Paul custom, I'm really going to have to take a good look at it. When you look at a Les Paul, there's a couple things you want to look at. Most people often get confused because some of these serial numbers overlap each other.
okay.
And you'll have a serial number that dates the guitar at 60, and sometimes it's models that they didn't even make in the 60s.
Okay.
It's got a two-piece body. Gibson did that for quite a while. You can see it start to separate a little bit there. Totally normal. And you've got these style tuning machines. They're tarnished, but those are actually original to the guitar. And then you've got the Gibson witch hat knobs. That's a good indicator of year. All the parts on it are original to the guitar. That's for sure. That's the good news. Bad news is I'm pretty sure that this isn't a 1960.
Wow.
I think actually what you've got here is probably a 70 to 74.
Okay, what was the dead giveaway?
Dead giveaway for me is the two-piece body. They didn't start this until late 1969.
Okay.
So right there,
So if I ever see
1960 would have been one piece of wood. You've got the bump, the volute. They didn't start that until about 1970. If it was a 60, it'd be flat.
So how much do you think it's worth?
Well, being the 70s, you know, in this condition, probably right around the $3 range. Right around $3 grand.
The moment that they said it wasn't a 1960 Les Paul, my stomach kind of dropped a little bit. It kind of hit me pretty hard. It took a while to sink in.
Thanks for coming by, Justin.
No problem, man. It's still a great guitar.
Even though this isn't a 1960 Gibson Les Paul, it's a 1974 Gibson Les Paul, which is still a great guitar, and I'd love to have it. Well, not exactly the $400,000 we thought, huh? Hey, I'm still interested in it, though. It's still a really cool guitar.
Well, I think I'm going to keep it.
I'd really like to give you $2 grand for it. Sure you don't want to sell it to me?
I think it's going to go back on the road with me.
Okay, sorry we couldn't do business. Sorry it wasn't worth a lot of money.
All right. Thanks. We tried.
Okay. Have a good one, man.
I'm really disappointed that it wasn't a 1960 guitar. Evidently, it's worth way more than $3,000 to me, and it's going to have to climb way up in price for me to be able to part with the guitar.
Because we still haven't found a buyer for the balloon, we decided to take Doug up on his offer and have him pilot it for us. We finally got our first customers, so I sent Chumley over there to help out and make the customers feel more comfortable.
You guys excited?
Yeah.
All right. Guys, this is my first time. I'm slightly nervous, so please just bear with me and we can make it through this alive.
At $150 a person, it's not really going to put that big of a dent in the cost, but to be honest, I'm kind of excited about riding in a hot air balloon.
Okay, guys, here's what's going to happen. We're going to heat the air inside the balloon. We're going to take off. Normally, we fly between 1,000 and 1,500 feet. You guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Chum, what are you doing, dude? Come on, man. Chum,
I'm sorry.
what are you doing, dude? You knew I wasn't even here yet.
I thought you were on. I'm sorry.
Idiot. I thought we were taking a step in the right direction, but after being up there with just Chumley, the customers are probably going to want their money back, and Doug's probably never going to want to work with us again.
You guys game to go up to 50,000 feet?
Let's just stick with 15 feet.
Buddy, we can't clear the buildings at 15 feet.
I'm all right with that.
On this episode of Pawn Stars, a key and a gun. I just can't figure out if they took a key and made a gun.
A little heavy. Wide and then all right.
Buddy, we can't clear the buildings at 15 feet.
I'm all right with that.
On this episode of Pawn Stars, a key and a gun. I just can't figure out if they took a key and made a gun. gun? Well, they took a gun and made a key out of it. I don't know what the hell this thing is.
What we have here is a trophy that was out of Jeff Gordon's personal collection.
I just want to make sure you didn't go to his house and feel it.
This came off you an opportunity of a lifetime here. Head comes off.
I'm Rick Harrison, and this is my pawn shop. What we got here? What do we got here?
What we have here is a personal Jeff Gordon trophy that was presented to him in 1997 by the American Sports Writers Association.
Oh, okay. Thought it was a hood ornament.
I'm going into the pawn shop to sell my 1997 Jeff Gordon trophy. This trophy is a very big deal. This is only handed out once a year to the top 5 drivers in NASCAR, so it's a very valuable piece, especially coming from a driver's personal collection.
So how'd you get this thing?
Well, I'm a huge NASCAR fan, and I got this at a charity auction back in 1998. This was actually given to Jeff Gordon and donated by him. Jeff Gordon is kind of a special driver who's actually, at this point in time, is 4th all-time in NASCAR wins. And his fan base is one of the biggest in NASCAR. There was a pretty good feud for years going on between Dale Earnhardt and him. He's a pretty special driver. Back in 1997, this was the year that he won the Daytona 500, and that's why this is a pretty special piece.
Jeff Gordon is a NASCAR legend. To get a personal trophy from his own collection, walk into my store, that's amazing. Any letters or anything like that?
Like a letter of authenticity?
I mean, something from the auction or something like that. I just want to make sure you didn't go to his house and steal it.
Yeah, I have a receipt from the auction that I got it from. I do.
The item's really cool. The problem with NASCAR stuff is there's hundreds of thousands of NASCAR things. I mean, it's the most marketed product there is, I think. I mean, there's NASCAR diapers.
This is not mass-produced. This is actually something that's only one of a kind. Pieces like this don't come on the market very often. They come out of a driver's personal trophy collection. I think he understands how very special this trophy is, but he's going to downplay it to me because he wants to get the best possible deal, so when he resells it, he gets the most money he can get.
So do you want to pawn it? You want to sell it?
I'd like to sell it. It's just time to cut my collection down.
How much you want for it?
I'd really like to get $1,000 for it today. I paid that much for it, and I really believe that a personal trophy like this should hold its value very well.
What do you really want for it?
You know, this is something that is not...
I'll give you $400.
Give me $500 for it. Come on, man. You have to know that this is going to go up there in your case, and it's probably going to be something you're going to cherish for a while. This is a good piece. It's nothing. You're never going to find it, ever, anywhere else. And I think you deserve to have it today.
So you sell cars for a living or something?
No, but I might.
You know, normally I wouldn't bet so easy. I'll do the $500.
You're good, man.
Okay.
Thank you very much. In the end, I settled for $500, and I'm happy with what I got.
Hey, what do you got here? Well, I have an antique portrait of Napoleon and an antique portrait of Josephine.
Hey, old man.
What?
Some guy found high school photos of you and Grandma.
Yeah, right.
These portraits are in mint condition. Honestly, I have no idea as to what the value is or what they're worth, but the lowest I'd accept for these portraits are $500. Yeah, think I could get it? My wife's family's from France, and it's been in the family. I know it's my wife's great-grandmother must have had it.
Corey, I don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah, dude, I'm looking at an old picture of you dressed in drag.
Move over.
Feel free. So why are you looking to sell them?
Well, we're moving. I need the money. Got to pay the movers. What I like about the two portraits is he's all dressed up in his uniform and everything, but Josephine wasn't bad looking, I'll tell you that much. In fact, I think she looks like my wife.
These are hand-painted. They're not what is known as print transfers. These were actually painted by an artist. There was artists back in the 1800s that specialized in these. That's all they did.
So they're old?
Oh, yeah, they're old. How old, you don't know, because they're not dated. There wasn't no Kinko's back then. If you wanted a picture of Napoleon, you had to find somebody